on the destruction of World Trade Center Building 7, NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, went out of its way to avoid investigating the use of explosives. Their sole rationale for not investigating explosive use was the supposed lack of sufficiently loud sounds.
So much of the buildings continue to fall into the street. When you're down there, Dan, you hear smaller secondary explosions going off every 15 or 20 minutes. And so it is an extremely dangerous place to be.
And then he had to go into that building to assess it.
You could hear the building creak above us. You could hear things fall. You could hear the fire burning. You could see columns just hanging from the upper floors, gaping holes in the floors up above us. There was an elevator car that was blown out of its shaft and it was down the hall. There was an elevator car that was blown out of its shaft and it was down the hall. This is, you know, the massive impact from the fall of Tower 1 onto Tower 7.
Yeah, here's one of the guys who can tell you I'm okay, all right? Here, hold on. You want to call your mother or something?
To be right now. You gotta get back. You know that. You gotta get back.
All right. Don't worry about me. You need to make calls right now. All right. That's that. You gotta get back. All right. Don't worry about me. You need to make calls right now. All right. That's You want to call your mother or something?
To be right now.
Go against another one. Hours after the attack, many smaller explosions rumbled through downtown.
And the 4-1 should have taken a couple of companies that they were leaving back to us that were stuck in the tunnel. So that, you know, they might be busy doing.
You hear that?
Keep your eye on that building as they coming down.
The building is about to blow up. Moving back.
Here right now, just off Broadway by City Hall with Michael Hess, who is the city's corporation counsel. Mr. Hess, you were trapped in, I believe, 7 World Trade Center. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I was. I was up in the emergency management center on the 23rd floor, and when all the power went out in the building, another gentleman and I walked down to the 8th floor where there was an explosion, and we've been trapped on the 8th floor with smoke, thick smoke all around us for about an hour and a half. But the New York Fire Department, as terrific as they are, just came and got us out.
Well, why did you happen to be at that particular place when the explosions took place?
Well, the emergency management center is where city officials go when there is any emergency such as this one.
And of course, the collapses since then. We're going to bring more of those to you now. Barry Jennings, you're on the 8th floor. You work for the city housing department. Explain to me the moment of impact.
Well, me and Mr. Hess, the corporation counsel, were on the 23rd floor. I told him we got to get out of here. We started walking down the stairs. We made it to the 8th floor. Big explosion. Blew us back into the 8th floor. And I turned to Hess. I said, this is it. We're dead. We're not going to make it out of here. I took a fire extinguisher and I bust the window out. That's when this gentleman here heard my cries for help. This gentleman right here, and he kept saying, stand by, somebody's coming to get you. They couldn't get to us for an hour because they couldn't find us.
You thought that was it?
I thought we're dead. I was trapped in there for several hours. I was trapped in there when both buildings came down. All this time, I'm hearing all types of explosions. All this time, I'm hearing explosions. My name is Barry Jennings. I'm 52 years old. So we subsequently went to the stairwell and we're going down the stairs. When we reached the 6th floor, the landing that we were standing on gave way. There was an explosion and the landing gave way. And I was left there hanging. I had to climb back up and now I had to walk back up to the 8th floor. After getting to the 8th floor, everything was dark. It was dark and it was very, very hot. Very hot. I know what I heard. I heard explosions. The explanation that I got is a fuel oil tank. No. I heard the explosions. And then the key thing was when the police officer came to me, he said, we got reports of more explosions, so you have to run. Big talk.
And that's after both towers have fell, correct?
Yes. Okay. And it wasn't until some years later that I testified in front of them. It was very, to tell you, it was very scary because they looked like very important people.
Yeah.
That were questioning me about certain things. And, I don't know if they liked the answers I gave, I could care less. I gave my account of it, the truth, and that was it.
Unbelievable. Oh my God. Still hear continuing explosions, but I don't know what it is. A lot of smoke.
It has been a mystery since 9/11. Why did World Trade Center Building 7 collapse nearly 7 hours after the Twin Towers fell? Was it diesel fuel in the building? Or planted explosives? A controlled demolition of government offices, as conspiracy theorists allege in films like Loose Change. A team of scientists and engineers authorized by Congress says there's only one answer, and it's conclusive.
The collapse of World Trade Center 7 was primarily due to fires. This is the first time that we're aware of that a building over 15 stories tall has collapsed primarily due to fire.
Shyam Sunder, the study's lead investigator, says fires ignited by falling debris from the towers burned so hot they created a phenomenon in which steel and concrete floors failed, causing floors to buckle and a key column to cave.
For the first time, we have shown that fire can induce a progressive collapse.
Fires burned out of control on 6 of 10 floors in Building 7, where New York City's multi-million-dollar emergency command center had recently been built. And because the city's water main was cut when the towers fell, sprinkler systems in the building did not work. Still, conspiracy theorists and others were not swayed by the new findings.
I hear quite a number of bare assertions here.
Investigators say they did consider certain so-called conspiracy theories, but none held up.
Alternative theories are really, none of them have been found to be credible.
I was real close to Building 7 when it fell down, and there's a lot of eyewitness testimony down there hearing explosions. I didn't see any reason for that building to fall down the way it did, and a lot of guys should be saying the same thing.
And then it was like another 2-3 seconds, you heard explosions, like boom. It's like a distinct sound. It's not like when in compression, like boom, 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 like floors that were dropping and collapsing. This was boom, and like you felt a rumble in the ground, like almost like you wanted to grab onto something.
You want to call your mother or something?
Looking like a Three Stooges movie covered with plastic, I swear to God. But he got a good thing, man. That's good shit. Then we went back there. Whoa, 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 whoa!